Alrighty, how's it going? Bob with some more couch talk, hopefully in HD if I set this camera up correctly. This is the third time that I've tried to do this. I'm trying to learn my camera, I'm not quite used to it. I thought I had a head cold, guys. I just think this is dry ears, draw my sinuses out. I'm working on that. Well, let's see. I'm a labelist Bernie Sanders. Most of you already know I support Bernie Sanders. I really do. So let's get down to the meat of it. Socialism. Okay, today at work, I work over at Costco, Tyler Road here in Charlotte with Club Demonstration Services. What I do is I put the carts out, set up things, and people come by and I demonstrate it and try to talk them into buying it. I think I might have said this is my last one, but guys, let's face it, not everybody watches all my videos. I'm going to have a goal here of 20 views on this particular video. So while I was there at work, this lady and I started talking. It was kind of slow in the store or warehouse. Well, anyway, I started a political conversation. I like to do that, but I sort of like don't get into particulars. But, she was talking about Trump a little bit, and I was being, listening. Okay, most of the Trump supporters are into this Reagan kind of views. And I'm like, Trump is so vastly different from Reagan, he will never even ever be a Reagan. As a matter of fact, there's only one Reagan. I love Ronald. He was a great president. Unfortunately, to the Republicans, it's the only decent president they've had in a while. George W. Bush was a good president. His son was a buffoon, kind of like Donald Trump is a buffoon. So Bernie Sanders, to me, stands out as an idealist. It scares me a little bit because idealism. I'm a human service major, guys, so I don't know too much about the linguistics of particular words. But he's an idealist. And you come up with these ideas where things are going to be a specific way and should be. You've got to get a lot of people behind you. Bernie's starting to do a good job with it. The only way he's going to get in if Hillary screws up, which she's got the FBI coming down her pretty hard. That could cause a little bit of nomination problems for Hillary. She may pick up some electoral votes, but they may swing towards Bernie. Because the last thing the Democratic Party wants to do is to have someone that has some legal problems to tarnish them. So Bernie's got a lot of wind left to get in there. I like Bernie. I like his zeal. For a 74-year-old, he is really a powerhouse. I hope to have his kind of energy at 74. Okay, I'm sorry I got off on a tangent. Back to that woman and I were talking. Basically, I was talking about my daughter going to the University of South Carolina, how much she's going to be in debt, how long it's going to take her to pay it back. And this woman was saying, we should not, in America, be taxed to pay for our children's education in college. And she said parents that are out there doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's what Trump wants, that's what the Republican Party wants to do, is to get parents, lazy parents, off their asses, off of welfare, get them out there, get them working the way they're supposed to, be able to get good solid credit, be able to send their children to a university and pay for it. That they should not have to get loans. And I smiled at her and I said, that is a great idea. So let's do this. Why don't we do it from the first grade all the way up? In other words, why should my tax dollars and your tax dollars pay for public education schools? Let's, at the very first grade, you have to pay to go to school. And she kind of looked at me. And she sort of said, I never thought of it that way. Nobody is thinking of it that way. I've said this before. Let's do this, you conservative Republicans. Let's do this. Wipe out all public service. All of it. It's all socialist, right? Well, let's not have any police, or if we do, have it in the private sector. Have your banks, have your schools, all have their own police departments. So we don't have any public that comes out of our taxes. Fire departments the same way. Each community has volunteer fire departments. Schools, you're either going to have your own and pay for it, or there's no education for your kids at all. Okay? United States Postal Service should be privatized. What else? Let me think of some other things here. I could keep going. You sort of get my drift there, Republicans? So if you want the purest of conservatism, let's wipe it all out. If you don't like socialism, wipe it out. Hey, let's wipe out Social Security. Who needs it? I'm sure some of these older senior citizens right now will be watching this, screaming and hollering and going, screw you. See, guys, so I talk sense. That's what Couch Talk's all about. I'm talking some sense. You see, I see both sides of the pictures. And you see, the conservatives out there see things with what I consider blinders. They can't see this way. They only see that way. They can see what is around them that is already socialism. And they probably use it. When's the last time, Republicans, that you mailed something with a stamp on it? When's the last time that you had to call the fire department or the police? When's the last time you might have had a mother out there that fell and you had to call 911? Okay? We, as citizens of the United States, always I say that you should use the taxes to benefit you as a people. Healthcare. We should have universal health care so that everybody can be able to get adequate health care, such as I, which I've discussed and said millions of times that I have some prostate problems, having a very difficult problem trying to get adequate health care without putting me in debt. Obamacare isn't cutting it. I already talked to them, and that's not cutting it. And I'm trying to go through some volunteer things here. That's all I have. My daughter, going to University of South Carolina, is going to end up getting in so much debt it's going to take her forever to pay it off. Unnecessary stress. Your senior citizens out there that are getting up into the years, trying to live on virtually very little Social Security. Most of them had to spend all their other monies that they saved on medical bills. Some of them have to sell their homes to be able to pay for their medical bills. What kind of America do we live in, guys? Conservatives, please tell me what you would do if it's your mother or your father that had to sell their home because the damn insurance company cut them off and they had to try to pay for their health care. So you see my point with what Bernie is saying? Universal health care is not an awful, terrible thing. Now, our children being able to go out there and get a good quality education, being able to, see, the whole point is this. If all of them get out there and get jobs, a lot of your welfare kids now can afford to go to college. A lot of them will be able to start going to school. I've always said this, Republicans, you want to end welfare? Bernie's got an answer for you. Get them educated. The more the better. The more they're educated, the more jobs are created, the more taxes are paid, and a better society we have. You can't just do the Trump thing. Just yank it from them and let them die. Let's build a wall. Build a wall. Let's get all the Muslims out of here. Just kick them out. Just kick them out. Citizens all. Who gives a damn? Let's get them out of here. And I'll tell you something else, conservative Christians. And I'm going to say it again, conservative Christians. Do you want a buffoon like Trump that's up there that is vile, yelling out obscenities? How do you think your children feel about that? How would you like your child sitting down listening to him saying the word shit in front of a whole crowd of people? What kind of intelligent person would you say? Would you like your child to go to school and use that word in front of the teacher? What kind of example is Trump showing to America, to the children? Please don't be blinded by his idiotic behavior. So Republicans, wake up. Find a candidate that you feel, Ted Cruz, anybody besides Trump. Wake up. So that's pretty much my couch talk for tonight. I think I pretty much said what I need to say. Thanks for listening.